Busting out the dad jokes in chat. Nice. Okay.
Ian, you're live.
Excellent. Good to know. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to MaliceCast TV Talks. I'm joined tonight, as usual, for our talks about Supernatural by SuperWhovian Freak. Hi, Super. Welcome back.
Hey, what's going on? Is it good to be back? It's good to be back.
Absolutely. It's been a little bit.
It's been too long. I mean, I'm not saying the holidays weren't fun and everything. I'm glad y'all baked your cookies. I'm glad y'all made that Christmas tree tower or whatever the heck that was that Jensen put up on Instagram. The fact that she made that in one try, having never done anything like that in her life, and it came out perfect, I hate her a little bit.
That's unfair.
A little bit. I went to baking school, professional baking school, and I can't even do that in one try. So she sucks.
Okay. Learning things about everybody right now. So tonight we are actually, for the first time for this cast, simulcasting on Twitch, another fantastic live streaming service. I know a lot of our folks from the main Malice cast have been doing a lot of gaming on Twitch. We're simulcasting our regular Friday night podcasts as well. And Twitch is, of course, completely free as well, just like YouTube is. In fact, if you go to the show notes here, below the YouTube video, you can find a link to our Twitch account. It's a free account. You'll be able to watch all kinds of really fun stuff. And please, I don't know, what is it, follow or subscribe? I can't remember which one is which. But of course, if you like this video, like and subscribe to us as well. All that being said, we're not joined tonight by Gia Tomcat, who is our occasional third contributor to this. She's got some personal issues ongoing, but I know she's joining us in the chat tonight. So hello to Gia. Let's get right into the episode, shall we? What was your favorite thing tonight, Super? What was your, before we even get into the storyline, like, did you have a moment that stood out for you?
You know what? My favorite moment, and it's going to be a little cheesy moment for me, but it was when Donna came up. First of all, her license plate, the D train. Love that. Number two, I love that her nickname for probably the grumpiest character on the show since they've had Bobby, Claire. Her nickname for Claire is Rainbow Bright. I love that. So ridiculous.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I was also a big fan of when Claire went to Alex's job. She was, they were commenting on each other's fashion sense. She goes, "You look like biker Barbie." And she's like, "Thanks."
That was a compliment.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was right. She did look like biker Barbie, especially with the bruises and the busted lip and everything. So starting off the show, we get sort of a recap of where all these girls came from, where we met them all, which was kind of cool because I hadn't seen them in quite a while, even though I binged the entire series this last summer. I still needed some refreshing on that. And we start off right away seeing that Claire is out on her own, kicking butt and shooting werewolves.
Werewolves, yeah. That was kind of awesome. We know she has a vendetta against werewolves. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, for sure. And I thought there was I thought that was kind of a cool little scene with her rescuing that girl. It kind of felt like she was, I don't know, hunting for hire at that point.
Right.
I was getting sort of some Wesley from Angel flashbacks.
She was much more competent, I think, than Wesley ever was.
Yeah, she could have used the motorcycle though.
Yes.
Yeah, nice little line there. I don't think that's for me. Are you sure it's got your name on the box? Mr. Werewolf.
That was ridiculous. Like, oh. I'm surprised.
Do you think? Yeah. Do you think that Claire has just been out there hunting solo ever since the last time we saw her?
Yes, actually, I do. Especially based on the reaction that she got when she got home. Finally, she hasn't been back.
Interesting. So that's got to be like almost a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's been quite a while since we've seen her.
It has been a while.
Okay, so Claire gets a call from Jody, and I like that it was sort of a throwback to the very pilot episode of this show, in that this is a backdoor pilot for Wayward Sisters. But Jody calls and tells Claire the boys were on a hunting trip and we haven't seen them in a few days, or haven't heard from them in a few days.
You know, if you're going to have a backdoor... Oh, yeah, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's just, of course, the way that that Dean told Sam that their dad was missing the very pilot, which was great.
Exactly. Yeah, if you're going to reference, you know, a good pilot that got the series started, you may as well go with the classic. And to all you people that are complaining about it on Twitter, seriously, grow up.
What are people complaining about?
Well, if you're bros only, and I mean this with the sincerest of all love, it's a freaking TV show, people. Bros only. You don't want to watch it, don't watch it. That's all I have to say. Like, seriously, there are enough problems in this world if you're going to whine and complain and throw hissy fits over a television show not meeting your standards. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to help you. Seriously, just don't watch because nobody wants you.
I just don't understand the fact that there are people that genuinely don't want any other characters on the show. What do they think the show would be at that point?
It wouldn't be. It would have been canceled in season 2 because they were on the ratings bubble. Or no, season 3, they were on the ratings bubble, barely got picked up for season 4. And then after season 4, when you brought in this new storyline, you brought in these new characters, it took off and never looked back.
Nice.
So
yeah,
pound sand.
So it's the reason that the show is still on. So yeah,
the reason.
Claire heads back home, and we get to see that reaction of everybody seeing her after such a long, time. And she's all busted up from that fight with the werewolves, which is great. Hey, no, I'm fine. Really, yeah, you're bleeding.
Yeah.
And
did she not? Oh, sorry. Did she not stop on the way home to clean herself up? I mean, how long?
Apparently not.
But no, she's just like, yeah, I'm going to drive home. I'm going to come home bloody and battered like I just, stepped away from the fight. It made no sense.
I mean, she didn't even wipe the blood off her lip with her shirt sleeve or something.
It's crazy.
Yeah, she gets back and she meets Patience for the first time because Patience has, of course, shown up to warn Jody that something terrible is coming. She had a vision, and yeah, what a great way to meet your essentially new foster sister. You're wearing my stuff.
But that's Claire. I mean, there's no holds back, no punches, withheld, I guess you could say. She is who she is. You either love her or you don't. I
do. I like her quite a bit. Although there were points in the show where I think in our personal chat back and forth, you're like, man, I forgot what a brat she can be.
Oh my God, yes. I am a teenager. I know best. It felt like she was going to stomp her foot and walk off. Like that whole dramatic.
Do you understand what I'm going through, Jody? God.
I know. It was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then you had the Jan Brady. Is that what we call Alex, a Jan Brady? Is she? Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, she's sort of the middle child that just does everything kind of right. Yeah. So they all sit down, have a little chat, discuss the fact that Sam and Dean are kind of missing. Meanwhile, Alex is cleaning up Claire's face because somebody had to. And we get into the fact that Patience specifically had a vision wherein she's seen Claire die. And Claire, of course, completely blows it off until she sees the look on Jody's face that, this chick is for real. Take this seriously. Did you think it kind of sank in a little bit faster than for me? It sank in a little bit faster than I was expecting. I was expecting her to go another couple of scenes before, seeing proof that the visions were correct. Yeah.
But maybe time constraints. Maybe they wanted to focus on other elements and drawing out that disbelief. They were focusing on the weirdly fast connection of what was her name? Kaya and Claire?
Yes.
Did that bond seem very quick to you?
It did, but I think that there's a reason for that. I think that they've both been loners for, you know, as long as they have been, whether it's self-imposed or, you know, ability imposed. And then the whole scene where they sat down and started comparing monster scars, it was kind of like, okay, yeah, I get who you are.
Yeah, that was funny. I mean, I didn't dislike it. It just seemed weirdly quick. They already have a ship name, by the way, on Twitter. They're the Dreaming Hunter. Something like that. I'd have to look at it again, but I think it was like the Dreaming Hunter ship or something like that. And I'm like, really? After one episode? Yeah. You know, I know some people are, yeah.
So actually, before we even get back into that, I want to give a quick shout out to the people that actually are on Twitch already. I know we've got quite a few people watching us right now. So hi, everybody. Thanks for following us. Thanks for watching on Twitch. And for the people on YouTube, thanks for that as well. So let's see here. Alex takes a break from the family chat to go to her job because she's not going to follow the hunter tradition of just, you know, scamming credit cards and ripping people off in order to survive.
No, definitely not. And clearly neither does Jody.
Yeah, or Donna for that matter. Kind of interesting that they're both law professionals. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, Claire gives Alex some crap for going to work in the night shift, and then later follows her to her job where we find out she's a nurse. Kind of a nice way for her to give back after all the years she spent, you know, luring people into vampire traps, don't you think?
Right. So how long has it been then? Because I'm in nursing school. That takes a little time, doesn't it?
Yeah, at least a couple of years.
High school? Like, wasn't she just in high school?
I feel like that was a couple of years ago, though, wasn't it? I mean, when we met her, wasn't she?
Was it season 11 that she was in high school?
I think something like that. When we met her, wasn't she like basically in her middle teens?
Yeah, she was in her middle teens. And then I remember they had that episode where they all get kidnapped at the school because she's dating that high school jock their senior year. And then, but I can't remember now, was that season 11 or was that season 12?
Oh, I can't remember. I'm sure somebody will tell us in comments somewhere.
Hey,
if there's one thing I know about the internet, it's that people will tell you if you miss something. So yeah, they right about this time. Well, actually, one of my favorite lines in there, besides the biker Barbie thing, was that Claire asks if she can get into the medical system to kind of look for the boys again, and she goes, "I told you, I checked it out already." She goes, "Really? Aliases? Yeah, everything from rock gods to 80s hair metal."
That's great. That was a good
search metric.
Yeah, a little good snarky line there. And I do agree with Gia in the chat there going, instant nursing, just add water. Does seem to work for this show. A lot of things sometimes just instantaneously happen and we just kind of roll with it as, you know.
As far as I can tell, all you need to be a nurse is scrubs and a stethoscope, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
And comfortable.
Write something on a chart.
Yeah, and comfortable shoes. You need comfortable shoes. I know that. So right about this time, they actually have found Kaya on the side of the road. So when they do a search for Jane Doe's, turns out that she's conveniently at their hospital right there.
Right. Which I knew was something similar was going to happen. I mean, you knew she was in South Dakota. That was the last place they were. It would have made no sense for her to be in another state. The only other state she would have been in would have been Minnesota because I knew they were going to bring Donna into it. So... But it did make sense.
Yeah, by the, of course, long abandoned shipyard in the middle of South Dakota. Still a little shaky on that one. So Claire goes and finds Kaya in the room and kind of basically tells her what's up right away. Hey, I know Sam and Dean Winchester. I'm pretty sure you do too. Kaya, of course, wants nothing to do with it. Her first instinct is always to just run away, which is understandable for her.
Probably smart in this situation. You know, didn't work for Kevin, though. It ain't going to work for her. So,
No. But as she tries to run away, she goes outside, and of course, there's bad things following her. Because why wouldn't there be?
Very bad things following her. What were those things? Did they give it a name? I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure they were the larval stage of the predator.
It was so weird.
Like from the movie Predator, when they pulled the mask off of that thing,
Yeah,
there was the whole unhinged jaw deal.
Yeah. Well, it kind of looked too like that episode of Doctor Who with the mask that sucks into your face, the World War II episode. It kind of looked a little bit like that too.
Yeah, actually.
It was weird.
On Twitch, I'm getting some crap from Jack Malice because apparently he doesn't understand sarcasm when I was talking about how easy it is to be a nurse. I used to be married to one. I'm well aware it's a very difficult job.
Yeah, I've got friends that are. That's why I was like, oh well, maybe I don't know. Maybe she's interning. Maybe she's just a receptionist, and you have to wear scrubs because you're in a hospital. I mean,
that's definitely a possibility. She might just be working that desk.
Yeah.
Or doing orderly type work, because I think one of the doctors asked her like if she had gotten a room cleared out or something, and that's not normally nurse work.
No, that's not normally nurse work. But I think if you're in the hospital, you have to wear the scrubs because for safety and whatnot.
Yeah, identification. So they Claire rescues her from the bad predator thing, and brings her back to Jodie's house, and they all have another little sit down and discuss things. This is when Claire and Kaya have their little scar comparison story, which was a lot of fun. I was expecting more scars, actually.
From Claire or from Kaya?
From Claire. I think she only showed like 2.
Yeah, maybe we would have gotten more. Because you would know she would have some. She's got to have some like on her back. She's got to have some like on her stomach.
There were probably some ones that are not safe for TV.
Definitely.
Yeah, and they talk about how they might need to go rescue the boys, and of course we cut to the boys in the bad place, and they're eating iguana. Well, actually, Dean's eating iguana because it's been 2.5 days, and he needs something fried.
Yeah, he does. Freaking Dean. Always eating something weird. I like the tweet from the guy that plays Gabriel Richard Spate Jr. He's like, what are you guys tripping out about? He's like, so he's eating a lizard. I've seen him eat worse in real life. And Jensen was like, yeah, that's true. True story. You know.
I want to know how they found an iguana in an alternate universe.
Who knows? Maybe it was a baby dinosaur that just hadn't grown up yet. But yeah, just his reaction. Like, don't tell me it tastes like chicken, Dean. I don't want to hear it.
And of course, the rejoinder comment was, "Of course, it doesn't taste like chicken. It's a lizard. It tastes like lizard."
I know.
The boys were not in this episode a whole lot, but what there was pretty good. So Patience at this point has decided that, hey, I came here to deliver the vision to you and warn you what was going to happen. And I'm out of here. I know literally three days ago, my dad said if I walk out the door, I should never come back, but I'm going to go back.
Yeah. Like you wouldn't really take her back if she came back. But hopefully, I'm hoping to never see that guy again because he was a wanker and I didn't like him.
He was a bit of a douche. Yeah. Not a fan of her dad. But of course, as soon as she goes to start leaving, she gets another vision. Clearly that monsters are about to break into Jodie's house. I wonder how often that happens. You get a whole team of hunters living in one spot.
No, I would think not very often, to be honest. I mean, there were those.
I was kind of leaning the other way.
Yeah, there was teen hunters in that one episode when they brought Chrissy back in season 7, 8. And so they had that, and then I know they had the Garth. Technically they were like hunting werewolves, and they were the little community over there. But that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, it's
most
just
everyone else seems to live solo.
At the end of the episode, when they're sweeping up broken glass and everything, the thought that I had was, I wonder if they just have a stockpile of extra windows. I wonder how often this happens.
No. Well, definitely. Like, it took me back to the ends of Charmed, the TV show Charmed. I mean, literally every freaking episode, windows getting busted, glass getting destroyed, objects in the house getting destroyed, and yet the next episode, boom, there they were.
Yeah,
Good as new. Like,
back to one, everybody.
Like, what the heck, dude? You ain't supposed to be using magic for personal gain. How'd you do that?
Yeah, Charmed was one that I missed. I'm actually in the process of binging through Smallville right now, and
Nice.
as much as I'm enjoying the show, still really don't like Superman. Anyway, it's a little off topic.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you though. Overall, like, he's not my favorite. I don't despise him the way other people do, but I would have to say that this is probably my favorite characterization of him, because he's not fully Superman yet. He's still mostly Clark. And
yeah, he seems to be Superman in progress. Jack in the Twitch chat is saying maybe they don't live all together because they're afraid the ATF would raid them Waco style. Oh.
Yeah, that's possible. It is possible.
Okay, and Beth in the YouTube chat is saying, personally, she hates Batman. Wow.
She's not a fan of rich white guys.
I mean, I can agree with that as long as it's the George Clooney version.
Nobody likes the George Clooney version. Not even George Clooney likes the George Clooney version.
I'm pretty sure he apologized for it at one point.
He did. They all have apologized for that movie.
So something that bugged me again in this episode, when Patience has her vision, she's about to get into the car, and then later, once they decide they're going to leave the house, Patience is driving one of the cars. Now, I get that it's her car, and that's reasonable, but why would you put the person who occasionally goes catatonic for like 30 seconds behind the wheel? Ever?
No idea. No idea. She should not be driving. Uber. Everywhere. Uber. I mean, maybe when she starts to like get some control over her visions, because obviously Missouri drove, so Missouri had it under control, but it's definitely like right now, because they even had it in the last episode when she was sitting at that stoplight, conveniently sitting at the stoplight, just sitting there, and then the car honk brought her out of it.
Yeah, well, that was when she was backing out of a parking space. She was like halfway out of the parking space.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that just a little thing that bugged me. They have figured out where the boys are likely to be. They figured it's Route 14. There's an abandoned shipyard out there again in the middle of South Dakota. Makes so much sense. But they figure out where it is pretty quickly, because Alex is apparently not only their resident medical person, but also their Google person. She's essentially Oracle or Overwatch at this point.
She's something. And I love how easy it was to find, like, oh, instantly, boom, right there, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, right, because it's probably the only shipyard in South Dakota. Like,
and everybody wants to know why it's there.
Yeah, I mean,
but this is right around the time that Donna shows up, and we get the license plate that you like so much, which I thought was great too.
D-Train, just D-Train. That and the Rainbow Bright, and then following up with the line like, "Why do you have all this? I'm from Minnesota," or "I'm from Minnesota." And that's why I tagged you guys in that tweet, both you and Gia. And it was just like, I feel like this could sum up so many instances, like not just this circumstance. I feel like that could cover a lot of crazy.
Yeah, well, it does. It definitely does. I don't know if you saw my response. Most of the time when I get that question, or when I have to use that response, it's when people are like, why in California, it's 60 degrees. How come you don't have a coat? I'm from Minnesota.
I know, exactly. Oh, that's funny. We have people signing off in the chat room and Twitch about George Clooney, Batman versus Superman, and how Gia in the other chat and YouTube is just like, whoa, 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 what's with all the Batman hate? And she can't spell because she can't see, and she, so she's trying to say crazy white mercenary white guy, came out Krazu Wijit mercenary wit guy. So that's
nice. Well, hey, I mean, if you want to decide for yourself, if you want to go through some old episodes of Superman or Batman, or even just get some old school format for Supernatural and rewatch a bunch of the series, We have a link to Amazon on our homepage at malice-corp.com. I mean, that gives us just a tiny little kick, helps us keep the site free, helps us keep the podcast free, allows us to keep doing this stuff, and hopefully at some point make it even better. Let's be honest, you're going to Amazon anyway. Might as well go through us and give us a little help. We appreciate it. So yeah, Donna's there. She's got a trunk full of weapons. She's got like 9 shotguns and various implements of destruction, as you do from Minnesota. But they figure out, this is about the time they figure out where the boys are likely to have been. And Jody pulls Claire aside. And after earlier in the episode, them having argued about how, you know, she's constantly benching Claire while she goes to check things out, she says, "Hey, I'm going to bench you while I go check this out." Were you surprised at how quickly Claire caved on that one?
In this case, no, because I think it was the fact that she said, "I need you to keep them safe. Like, I'm not leaving you here because I want to keep you safe. I need you to look out for them because they can't take care of themselves." So that was a little bit different in this case. She was now the protector instead of the protected. And that made sense.
Yeah, I get that.
She liked it because you could see by her face, like,
well, okay. Claire being Claire, and like you brought up earlier, such a teenage brat at times. Her first instinct is just to be like, "Whoa," and then she thought about it. She's like, "Yeah,
looking at him."
And I mean, we got a little bit of that conversation later where she's, bonding with Kaya again, and she's like, "I'm actually kind of scared a little bit this time." Yeah, it's. I mean, well, the whole vision. She's starting to take Patience's vision seriously, and if Patience saw her die, then it becomes an abstract. I'm young and immortal, and I can do whatever I want to. Ooh, this might have consequences.
Right. Exactly. And she saw those consequences later, so.
Yeah, for sure. We go quickly back to the bad place, and we see Sam and Dean get their butts kicked by what's clearly a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even close. Like, they got whooped.
Yep.
Now, granted, the person in the hood had a long staff with a hook on the end, so hard to fight that when you don't even know you're about to be attacked. But man, they got their asses kicked.
Yep.
So, just that quick.
Yeah. It was strange they got beat that badly, but I think it was just with the theme of tonight's episode. It wasn't about them in the sense they needed to be put in that position, but it was funny when they woke up.
Well, this whole episode was just, powerful women, which is great.
Yes.
But yeah, we just get that quick little vignette of them getting their butts kicked. And then we cut back over to Donna and Jody finding the rift that leads to the bad place. And I want to know why it didn't lead to the hell dimension or whatever. Like, shouldn't there have been 2 rifts?
Or maybe Jack shut the other one by mistake, or maybe the hell rift is in a different place. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's some weird, like thing. If you're thinking of the bad place, it takes you to the bad place. If you're thinking of the hell dimension, it takes you to the hell dimension. I guess we'll never know, huh?
You just got to close your eyes and believe.
Right? Sprinkle some pixie dust.
Exactly. Again, very little of the boys here, but I had to get a real good second Dean line in there when they wake up all tied up and the hooded person goes over and whacks on the skull. Dean yells at him, "Hey, Darth Dickwad, what are you doing?"
That was so great. And then it's like, "Oh, I think he just rang the dinner bell." Like, oh, okay. So
yeah, for something big. And we can kind of jump ahead to when we see whatever that was coming through the trees. It looked kind of cartoony. I was a little bit disappointed by that.
Kind of looked like a giant angry turtle head with glowing red eyes.
Phrasing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, definitely. But also kind of like the teeth looked a little flat, like it might have been an herbivore. So I was a little
I
confused by that.
know. So yeah, so I don't know. Maybe he likes to eat humans in between a sandwich of plants.
Maybe
I don't
just
know. It was really
bones
weird.
to pick its teeth.
Yeah. So really strange, and I'm wondering if is that what Wayward Sisters is going to be focusing on, that alternate reality?
It sure seems likely.
Okay.
There's a line towards the end. Spoiler alert, everybody. Everybody, for the most part, comes out fine in this one, or at least the main characters. But yeah, there's that line when the boys are parting, and Jody says, "Hey, you guys got the rest of the world. We'll take care of Sioux Falls." So I wonder if that show is going to be primarily, like you said, dealing with this particular incursion in that area.
All right, but you wonder how you're going to get back there. I mean, you don't have Jack, you don't have the Dreamwalker.
Well, again, to jump forward to the end of the episode, that was one thing I was wondering. When the bad guy slips through another door or another rift, where did that rift come from?
Maybe she created it. Maybe she learned how to create them if she was a Dreamwalker.
If I don't, and we'll get there. That's another question that I have. So Donna and Jody have found the rift, and they're quickly distracted by it. Well, actually, first Jody just wants to go through. Donna stops her, and Jody essentially says, "Look, if we bring the girls back here, Claire's going through there, and Patience had that vision." She says, "Jody, I cannot lose another kid." So you see what a close relationship has developed over time between Jody and those girls.
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, they get distracted because there's a bunch of those weird masked predator things crawling all over the room, literally next door, trying to pick up a scent or something.
I guess. Well, that was where they had been, so they were going to try and follow her scent from there. Like, I'm not really sure. How did some find them at the house and the rest of them are at the boat?
Yeah, well, I wonder if it was, different little. Kaya said that they roam in packs, so I wonder if it was multiple different packs that happened to get to the rift at different times.
That's creepy, though.
Yeah. But they get to, well, for lack of a better word, treed by the creepy bad things inside a car.
Where'd that car come from? That was definitely not the Impala. It was just some random car on the boat.
Yeah, I was a little confused by that. I think I kind of remember there being like old cars broken down in the little area where all the angels were like repeatedly slamming their hands down on the ground.
Yeah, but that was outside. Were they outside the boat? Were they inside the boat?
Yeah, it was outside that door that led up to the rift.
Okay.
Like they had come down the stairs and started trying to run, but then saw that there were way more of those creatures and essentially hid themselves in a car. Okay. Donna wants to run for it and said, "Well, but that'll probably get us killed." And Jody says, "Well, if we stay here, we're probably going to get killed." And of course, the girls show up to save them because, according to Claire, with a flamethrower.
Yeah. That also took me back to second episode of Supernatural when they were killing the Wendigos with the flamethrower. So. Yeah.
And now we've got Beacon and Jack Malice in the Twitch comments doing Lonely Islands. I'm on a boat.
Oh, I know. They're crazy. I'm still trying to figure out how we had Texas Chainsaw Massacre as a better love story than Twilight. I'm not quite sure how we revolved. It was it's a true statement. We're not going to lie, but
no, that was the worst. Batman is still better than any Superman. Mess said, "Yeah, better love story than Twilight." Everything's a better love story than Twilight.
I know.
So yeah, Claire saves them with the flamethrower. Yet another common piece of Minnesota gear. No,
right?
For when you're tired of snow blowing and you really want that snow off your driveway.
Yeah.
But yeah, the girls come to rescue them because according to Claire, hey, we called, you didn't answer.
That's sign to go in. You know, when Mama Bear doesn't answer, go.
And, you know, it's also a pretty common and useful TV trope. If you're going to break up your team of heroes, it's probably because one half is going to rescue the other half at some point.
Yep. Yep. Oh my God. And then we got Gia in the chat channel on YouTube saying hashtag 50 Shades of Batman. 50 Shades of Batman. Oh, I don't want to know. Who's the dom?
I saw that. Oh, no. Oh.
Batman, well, we need another crazy guy. Hashtag the Joker.
That makes Robin Anastasia Steele. Oh.
No. I don't know. Would that make him Anastasia and the Joker Christian?
No, I think because it's 50. I don't want to talk about it. It's so.
No.
It's such
bad
writing.
Don't go down that road. We will. Yeah.
Saw the trailer for the new one in the movies over the weekend, and I wanted to stab my eyes out.
It's gone. Okay.
So the girls figure out where the rift is, and Donna and Jody take them up there, and you know they were just going so Fargo with Donna in this episode. She sees it and she says something along the lines of, "Oh, geez."
I know, sure. Her accent was very thick tonight, very reminiscent of the first episode she was in. They toned it down a little bit going forward, but I think they brought it back full force, and it wasn't like, oh my God, annoying. It was just, you could definitely tell it was played up.
As a native Minnesotan, it was annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, I can turn that on anytime you want. You know, I can. They were basically South Canada up there, but oh gosh, yeah. But yeah, she says, "Oh geez," or "Oh gosh," or something along those lines because she notices, crap, the rift is getting smaller. It means it's probably going to close fairly soon. But more of the creepy bad things are coming around again. So Donna and Jody and as it turns out, Patience and Alex are going to stay behind and guard the room with the rift while Claire and Kaya go to get the boys. And it actually does make sense to bring Kaya in there. She's familiar with it. And you saw as soon as they got through the rift, she was like, okay, let's go this way.
Yeah. Yeah. Did they bring any weapons with them? Like, did they bring a gun? Did they bring anything?
I think they just brought what they know. Like, Claire probably had a gun and her pocket knife, but I think that was it.
Yeah, that was smart.
I am a little bit surprised that Kaya didn't insist on bringing shotguns or something along like, you know, maybe the flamethrower.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah,
I would think.
But yeah, and apparently the rift really wasn't that far away because it took them about a minute and a half to get to the boys. It makes me wonder.
So where the hell did Sam and Dean go?
What were they doing that whole time?
Well, what I'm thinking is this is what happened. All right. So you know how she was on the boat, but then she got blown away to a random side of the road. I'm thinking that they got blown away from the rift, and then whoever that hooded figure was brought them closer because of, you know, whatever reasons.
Yeah. Well, because that was sort of the feeding ground. You know, you saw all the different remnants on the ground there, and I wonder if like Kaya recognized the place because there was the dinner bell giant skull thing there.
I'm wondering, yeah.
Anyway, they find the boys pretty quickly. Snip, snip, ropes are undone, and let's get the hell out of there. They come back when they're getting up to the rift and they're about to leave when Darth Dickbag shows up and throws the Spear of Destiny. And Kaya just happens to see it just in time. And rather than, you know, pushing her out of the way like you normally, like normally the push goes that way, you go that way. And as you push, your own body moves back, right? Now, apparently she did the run tackle. I'm going to get standing exactly where you were push. So she catches a spear straight through the middle.
Through her chest, right? Did it go through her chest or did it go through her stomach?
Yeah. No, I think it went, like right side of the rib cage.
Right, yeah, because she died pretty much instantly. Yeah.
Yeah, she had just enough time to look soulfully over at Claire.
Yeah.
Were you surprised that they killed her off like that? I was kind of expecting that she was going to be around a lot longer.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it set up the ending, I guess, of the show, but that was a little bizarre. Was not expecting that.
Yeah, I mean, clearly the actress isn't going anywhere for a while. So that's not like she lost a job, but I was a little confused. But at the same time, throughout the episode, I'd been thinking, gosh, they got two mother figures and 4 teenage girls, or maybe early 20s in Alex's case. This is going to be a lot to deal with.
A little bit.
So,
they need a bigger house. Nobody needs a bigger house.
Yeah. Yeah. And now everybody's going to have to get jobs.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, Kaya gets gacked pretty quickly. Everybody else makes it back through, and they make quick work of all the different monsters. Even Patience gets one. That was a fun little line at the end. I killed a monster. And of course, everybody giggles and basically says, "Welcome to the family." Because apparently, after having been attacked by a swarm of alternate universe predator-looking things, she decides, "Yeah, this is where I need to be," rather than trying to go home.
I mean, I don't know. You see it. You see the depth. Maybe she thinks she can do some good. So.
Yeah, I think she's just. I think her superpower isn't the vision so much as just the ability to make the wrong choice most of the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Always make the decision that's going to cause you the most pain and suffering.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get the parting where Sam and Dean are going their separate ways and away from the girls. We get that line from Jody, "Hey, you guys take care of the world. We got Sioux Falls covered," which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And there's a little heart-to-heart between Claire and Jody, because Claire is suffering from the effects of having Kaya die on her.
Right. Oh, and did you notice at the end too? Patience realized that she misinterpreted her vision when she saw Claire lying there. So she was like, "Oh, like."
Yeah, because everything that we saw in her vision did happen. It just didn't happen to the person that we thought it was going to.
Yeah, it wasn't Claire that died. So maybe you don't misinterpret that vision. Maybe Kaya doesn't die. Maybe nobody dies,
Yeah. Well, and you got to wonder too, like the visions that we've seen her have before, like when they were all tied up in the basement with the, what was it? The thing that, was it a wraith?
No, the wraith. Yeah, the wraith.
Yeah. She had that vision where, Dean and Jody and her dad all died, but she was able to change it as it was happening in real life. So, I mean, we know things can change. Everything she sees isn't locked. But yeah, we get the little heart-to-heart between Jody and Claire, where Claire says, essentially, I get it. I get why, you're like that, why you're protective of me, why it worries you that I might get hurt, because I promised to protect that girl, and I didn't.
Yeah.
What did you think about her little, there was like the little voiceover monologue as she was going to sit down at the table?
It was cool. It makes me wonder, is Wayward Sisters going to be from her point of view then going forward? Is she going to be the main?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I guess because, or was that just the introduction because she's the oldest technically of the show? She's been around since season 4. Different actress, obviously.
I'm a little worried if they do the whole voiceover thing. It's, the actual pilot's going to be like, record scratch. Yep, that's me. I bet you wonder how I got in this situation.
Yeah. I hope they don't do that for every episode, but I wouldn't mind it for like the really important scenes. But I think for this case, it was trying to establish this is the pilot. This is the entry. This is not, I mean, it is supernatural, but it is our part of it going forward,
Yeah, this is facts of life versus different strokes.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, so the last little bit of the episode that we get is, again, the mystery second rift has opened up. We don't know how exactly, but the pole-wielding, hooded, mysterious figure steps out of it and pulls the hood back, and we see that it's Kaya, kind of.
But Darth Kaya?
Yeah, I gotta wonder, did it always look like that? Did it shapeshift to look like her? I'm confused.
It could be dark art, you know, she could be the dark version of her from the alternate reality. That's maybe why Kaya was linked there, because she had a doppelganger.
That's interesting. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, I could get that.
Yeah, because they looked like, it didn't look like a different body. Like it looked like the same person. Because I was like, oh, maybe she took over Kaya's body and came over, but it looked like the same.
Yeah, same build, same height, all that. Yeah.
So, but that would be interesting to find out if they were linked, and that's why, because they were doppelgangers.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if that one is also a dreamwalker, and so has seen a ton of this universe.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I like that. And clearly, that the upcoming bad guy or whatever is pretty badass, because it's a pretty solid strategy of keeping all the big bad monsters around you well fed so that it doesn't eat you.
Exactly. It is a smart strategy. And but definitely I think she's going to be the main bad guy for the first season of Wayward Sisters. Yeah, because they're going to find out that this person is here, and the angst.
Oh yeah. I bet Claire's going to have some real conflicted feelings.
Yes. It's coming. I will say though that people on Twitter, there are some people on Twitter that are PO'd, however you want to say it, that they're, as they call them, the powers that be over at the show, Supernatural, are not only supporting, but they're on the train riding that Dream Hunter ship I was telling you, like I said, and they're like, really, after one episode, but you've been dangling Supernatural, and you know what I'm talking about, Supernatural. You've been dangling that in front of us for 8 years, but after one freaking episode, you dance on this train like there's no tomorrow. They were like, F you, screw you. The episode was still great, but screw you.
Right.
So, and I can understand that, actually. I completely and 100% understand that their sympathies and why they're frustrated with that. That has to be incredibly, incredibly frustrating to watch that happen in front of your eyes. Like,
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Beth has an idea. One of the reasons that I like having her on this cast, she thinks of stuff that I just wouldn't have. She says it's a possibility that Hood Kaya killed the bad Kaya, like the one that we saw die was the bad one for some reason. I don't really understand.
Maybe, or maybe she's saying there were two alternate Kayas, or maybe she was the bad one and this is the good one. I'm not sure, but why would, if she was good, why would she be serving up innocent people?
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll have to see.
You know,
we'll have to see.
Yeah.
I want it to get picked up though, because that's too many questions that need answered. Now I need my answers. So pick it up. It's definitely trending. I think I saw 15,000 tweets about it in the last 2 hours. So.
Good Lord. Okay.
I know.
Well,
I know.
We know the Supernatural fan base is a vocal one.
It is a vocal one. It is, yeah, definitely is a vocal one. So hopefully it'll get picked up at least for a trial season, unlike their other spin-off idea, #Bloodline sucked.
Yeah. But yeah, this one is more engaging than the Bloodlines one. That was just bad.
Right. It was so bad. It was so boring. It was so boring. I fell asleep during that episode, and I didn't bother to go back and watch what I missed. I was just like, we're good. And we're good. And I stuck it out all the way through Bugs, people. All right. And I've rewatched Bugs, so that's saying something. All right. Bugs was not good.
No. Well, what was your so we covered what was your favorite moment earlier? What was your least favorite moment of the episode?
Oh, my least favorite moment of the episode. Let's see. There was nothing that I overtly hated. It was probably that what I brought about in the precast before we went on the YouTube. Just the fact that you had in season 12, you had this whole dramatic countdown with the fact of the rift closing and Crowley's sacrifice being wasted and other characters dying and characters disappearing, blah, blah, blah. And then they pop out of the rift this time and it just goes shoop and it closes. And you're just like, where was that in
season 12? So glad you did that again.
Yes. Where was that in season 12? Why did this one just instantly close and that one, as Jack Malice likes to put it, go on the Michael Bay timer for dramatic purposes? But it's like, oh, well, in this case, we've wrapped up all the plot line and we just need the dramatic holding of the crying girl.
It's like finishing a quest line in an RPG. You know, as soon as you're done, the question mark above the guy's head goes away.
Yes, exactly. Or in this case, for the season 12, apparently that's the end of the story, but you get the dramatic cutscene that leaves you unsatisfied and angry.
I want to know if the thing had closed just half a second earlier. Did somebody lose like the lower half of their leg?
I know. You have to wonder, because obviously we haven't seen that yet, but maybe Michael will come through the rift and he'll lose his foot, and he'll be the one-footed angel. I don't know,
I was surprised. The one thing I really didn't like about the episode, and I guess it kind of makes sense because we were following the girls for most of it, but nobody really talked. I think Jack was only brought up once, and that's when the boys got back from the bad place, and they were like, "Where's Jack?" But I mean, Kaya never said anything about Jack.
No,
and
she didn't.
She should have been curious about that.
Yeah, I think they brought him up one other time. They brought him up. Well, where's Jack? I think he's in the other place.
Yeah, I think that's the only time he was brought up.
That was the only. They didn't bring him up when they were leaving.
No, not that I remember.
Yeah, I guess you would
so that was.
Would have said something like as they were leaving Jody, like, okay, now we gotta, like, I don't know, find the other alternate reality, because we gotta find Mom. We gotta find Jack and Mom.
Yeah, and just as a sort of a minor complaint about the season overall, we've barely touched on Jack and Mary in quite a while. Well, I guess that's since the break, but we have almost not at all touched on Castiel being held prisoner for like 8 episodes now.
I think that's coming in the next episode. What's sad is it really actually hasn't been that long. It's only been like 3 episodes.
That's it?
It just feels, I think it feels like longer because of the break.
Because of the break? Yeah, that's probably
because
true.
of the hiatus. Yeah.
I remember at least a couple of episodes. I remember at least a couple episodes where Sam was like, I talked to Cass on the phone, and you're like, but that wasn't Cass.
Yeah. Definitely wasn't Cass. It was so I think that's coming next couple episodes. Him and Lucifer will be back, but I hope we see next episode. If we don't see some Jack and Mary in the alternate timeline, I'm going to be really disappointed, because now you've got Sam and Dean back. Here you go. What are they doing to escape? Is he going to take on Michael? Is he going to be captured by Michael? Is he going to be tooled by Michael? Used by Michael?
Right. Well, at this point, you got to figure. They're going to have to do almost an entire episode that's just Jack and Mary on that side, on Lucifer on that side, because the boys don't have a way to get to that dimension at this point. They just don't. Not
right now. Not unless they find something in one of the Men of Letters books. That's something that I have a complaint about this show overall. Since they brought in the Men of Letters bunkers, they have not utilized it. You have all these spells. They've done a little bit. When Kevin was there, they were utilizing it. They did the animal spell. Right, they've done like the glasses to see the hellhounds and so they've done a few things. But you've literally got this treasure trove of knowledge and spells and ingredients, and you're not utilizing them. And why?
They should be doing that all the time.
You should be doing it all the time. Sam right now should be like a green belt in wizard. And you know what I mean? Like, I could get Dean maybe not getting down with the magic. Like, he likes the brawn. He likes using his hands and the guns and the things he can control.
But Sam should have like a utility belt full of pouches with powders and spells and stuff.
Yeah, he should be the less creepy version of that guy that kidnapped Dean. What was his name? Magnus Bane, the artifact guy. Yeah, Sam should be a less creepy version of him.
I would love to see that. I've often thought, like, they did a little bit of like playing with artifacts and stuff's definitely dangerous in there, but mostly like the place that they were keeping was it Lucifer they were keeping in there for a while on a big pentagram chained up to something, but that was like a storage room behind a library. You're like, you could use the library for stuff other than trapping people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Anyway, so we are about wrapped up here. Pretty good episode overall. I thought, very little of the boys, but it was a solid episode for the ladies. Yeah, we're gonna be back next Thursday with more of the same after the next episode. We'll see if whether or not Gia Tomcat can get her voice back by then.
I know. Hopefully, I'm hoping. Not just her voice, her hearing too, because her hearing is gone.
Yeah.
The pneumonia that's knocked her out now, going on almost a month.
Mm-hmm. So we have been keeping things a lot more up to date lately on the Malice Corp site. So you're already watching us on Twitch and YouTube. Please feel free to like, follow, subscribe, whatever is applicable. But also we've been keeping fairly up to date on Stitcher, on iTunes, so you can listen to us without watching this shiny mug in the car if you'd like. And of course, we've also all got our own individual Twitter accounts. Super, what's yours?
My Twitter? My Twitter is at SuperWhovianNut. It's definitely blowing up tonight with all the Wayward hashtags and everything that people are doing. Everyone's joining us. And we did actually just have Robert join us in the YouTube chat channel, so that's awesome.
Oh, what's up, Robert?
And according to Jack Malice, he says, magic makes you turn evil. Well, you know what? It's been a while since we've had evil, Sam. So, bring it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely come find me on Twitter. It's always a good time. There's always ridiculous chats going on. Come join the
yeah, I follow Super on Twitter, and it's fun to watch sometimes. Between talking to people from this show, talking to people from Preacher, random other shows as well, Super is a very entertaining follow. Personally, I am at ICZorro on Twitter and Instagram. Our currently absent, usually third member, Gia Tomcat, is on Twitter at Red Meepaw. That's RED_MIPAW, I believe. And in fact, you can follow all of our normal MaliceCast mates from the main cast and various other podcasts that we do. All the links to that are in our show notes just below the video on YouTube. Also links to our website, to our Twitter, to Twitch. Again, it's a free account. Go there and sign up and be kind enough to follow us. And of course, our intrepid producer, the empty microphone boxes that you see there on mute. He's following along, but he doesn't like to actually jump in here unless something particularly crazy happens. Anyway, guys, it's been a good talk. Super nice chatting with you as always. And definitely. We will see you at the same supernatural time, same supernatural channel next week on Thursday.
Definitely. Definitely. Everyone, peace out.
Yeah, and until then, carry on.